Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV, and the Southwest TV Translator Association underwrites the news show.
If you have a news topic or tips you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 677-4119.
Today's show runs Monday at noon and is rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. and again re-aired on Thursday at noon, 3 and 6. Today is September 11th, 2017, and now the news at noon.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, the defense team for Mark Redwine, who is accused of killing his son, made several motions in court Friday about the handling of evidence in his case, and the team also asked a judge to ban media interviews with Redwine while he is incarcerated pending a trial. Redwine, age 55, is suspected of killing his 13-year-old son, Dylan Redwine, in November 2012. A grand jury issued an indictment in July accusing him of second-degree murder and child abuse resulting in death. He faces 16 to 48 years in prison if convicted on either count. District Court Judge Jeffrey Wilson said he expected to issue written rulings on the defense team's motions early next week. Redwine, who appeared for the hearing wearing an orange jail-issued jumpsuit, did not speak. In addition, Wilson set a hearing for 11 a.m. December 15th to review the defense team's analysis of what amounts to about 13,000 pages of evidence. District Attorney Christian Champagne said he had no objections to Wilson's scheduling of the December 15th review of the defense team's progress analyzing the evidence. Most of the defense team's motions centered on how evidence will be tested, including a request that the defense be allowed to have its own experts present during tests. The defense also requested that the La Plata County Sheriff's Office deny media requests for interviews with Redwine in the lead-up to an eventual trial. If the defense is prepared to move forward with the case at the December 15th hearing, Wilson would likely schedule an arraignment, a hearing in which Redwine's attorneys would enter his plea in the case. Redwine was arrested July 21st in Bellingham, Washington. He eventually waived his right to an extradition hearing, which allowed the sheriff's office to retrieve him and bring him back to Colorado. Redwine's arrest came as a major development in the 4.5-year investigation into the disappearance and death of Dylan Redwine.
From the Telluride News, 4 people have been charged with felony child abuse causing death and are being held in the San Miguel County Jail. They could face additional charges at a later date following an evaluation of the case by the 7th Judicial District Attorney's Office, according to Sheriff's Office spokeswoman Susan Lilly. The suspects in local custody are Frederick A. Blair, a 23-year-old male of Norwood, Madani Seus, a 37-year-old female of the country of Haiti, Ika Eden, a 53-year-old female of the country of Jamaica, Nathan Ya, a 50-year-old male also from Haiti. At 2:30 p.m. Saturday, the Sheriff's Office issued a statement on Twitter that a 5th suspect, Nashika Bramble, turned herself over to authorities and was in custody in Grand Junction. On Friday, she was the only suspect that Lilly would name as the Sheriff's Office sought the public's help in locating her. 2 deceased girls between the ages of 5 and 10 were found by deputies Friday afternoon following a call to authorities at around noon. It is believed that the youths had been deceased for at least 2 weeks. Initially on Friday, the Sheriff's Office said the suspects faced charges of second-degree murder and criminally negligent homicide, as well as felony child abuse causing death. On Saturday morning, Lilly said only the latter charge is official. In my 37 years as sheriff, I have never seen anything as cruel and heartless as this, San Miguel County Sheriff Bill Masters said of the incident. Authorities have declined to provide details regarding the manner of the victims' deaths. The 2 Haitian suspects, Seus and Ya, were believed to have been residing in the Norwood area for about 2 months. Blair is said to be a longtime Norwood resident. No information has been released regarding Eden other than her age and country of origin. The scene of the investigation Friday was about 2 miles south of the town, near the intersection of County Road Y-43 and Thunder Road. As of Saturday at 2 p.m., Sante's office had not released any information regarding the identity of the victims or how they died. Norwood is 35 miles west of Telluride. The property where the deaths were being investigated was described by law enforcement personnel as a 17-acre tract. The rural areas around Norwood have been scrutinized by law enforcement in recent months because of suspected illegal pot growing operations. It is not known whether the suspects were involved in growing activities. Lilly called the deaths of the girls terribly tragic. The sheriff's office is leading this investigation with the assistance from the Colorado Bureau of Investigation.
According to the Cortez Journal, a mysterious pathogen suspected to be airborne in the Archuleta County Courthouse has forced court proceedings and operations to be shifted to the La Plata County Courthouse in Durango. In addition, Archuleta County's offices for its sheriff, treasurer, assessor, and county clerk, located in an adjacent and adjoining building to the courthouse, will be closed Monday to conduct a broad array of air quality tests in an effort to define exactly what is causing bouts of illness among workers in the building, said Archuleta County Administrator Bentley Henderson. The Archuleta County Sheriff's Office has already moved out of its normal offices. The tests will help the county finally identify what is causing the illnesses among the building's employees. Tests will be conducted in the courthouse beginning Monday and continuing at least through Wednesday. Henderson said the courts will have industrial hygienists conduct tests on Tuesday and Wednesday. Some tests will provide results relatively quickly, but other tests might take some time before results are received, he said. The Archuleta County Sheriff's Office moved its operations out of the building on Wednesday, and the courts moved operations to Durango on Thursday, he said. Henderson estimated about 60 to 75 people work in the courthouse and the adjacent and adjoining building. One person has been hospitalized because of an illness suspected to be associated with the building's problems, Henderson confirmed. He declined further comment. Henderson said symptoms range from watery eyes to more severe symptoms. Complaints have been received since the building flooded in 2015.
From the Cortez Journal, Southwest Health System celebrated the completion of the new emergency services station with an open house on Friday. Nunn Construction finished work on the EMS station at the end of July, but it took about a month to put the finishing touches on its interior and move in emergency personnel, Southwest Health spokeswoman Haley Leonard Saunders said. During the open house, about 200 people from the hospital staff, the Southwest Health System Board of Directors, Disability Services Program, Community Connections, and other interested groups filled the station's large garage. The EMS station is part of a $32 million expansion at the hospital that will also include a new inpatient wing, a retail pharmacy, a new medical office building, and additional parking by the time it's completed in 2018. Southwest Health System paramedics started operating out of the EMS station at the end of August. The building contains 3 bedrooms, a kitchen, a gym, a training room, and enough garage space for 5 ambulances, including 2 new vehicles the station acquired this summer. Emergency personnel used to sleep near the hospital's emergency room during 24-hour shifts, and paramedic Kate Harding said it will take some time to get used to having their own building, but both she and the paramedic instructor, Scott Anderson, said the ability to park their ambulances indoors will be a benefit when winter comes. The vehicles previously parked outside and sometimes had trouble starting during cold weather. At the open house, the hospital's catering staff served hot dogs to guests, while employees from Moose and More served ice cream. Kent Rogers, CEO of Southwest Health System's Board of Directors, helped man the grill. He said the opening of the EMS station is a big step forward for the hospital. The next phase of the expansion is to renovate the hospital parking lots near North Mildred Road. Kevin Wehmeyer, a project engineer for Nunn Construction, said repaving them is a priority this fall. Construction crews spent most of this summer working on the back side of the building, so all traffic was directed to the front. Starting in mid-October, that will be reversed. The side of the hospital campus facing Mildred Road will be closed for about 6 months. Saunders said so traffic will be redirected to the emergency room entrance at the back of the hospital, which can be accessed through Cottonwood Street and East Hospital Drive. Saunders said the project is on schedule, and she expects the entire hospital expansion to be complete sometime next summer. Guest services personnel will continue to be available throughout the construction project to help patients navigate the campus.
According to the Cortez Journal, the Draw Fire 8 miles northeast of Dolores has grown to 120 acres, according to San Juan National Forest officials. The fire in the Boggy Draw area is burning at low to moderate intensity and will continue to grow, but it is effectively boxed in by roads, said Patrick Seekins, Dolores District Fire Management Officer. Seekins attributed the fire's growth to burnout operations used to consume fuel between the edge of the fire and the control line. 12 firefighters with 2 fire trucks are working to control the fire within a 1,400-acre containment area bordered by forest roads 528 and 527 on the east and south, and Forest Road 527 on the north and west side. Using drip torches, firefighters start fires along the forest roads in advance of the wildfires. The tactic burns away fuel and keeps the wildfire from going beyond the containment line. The fire is burning forest litter, oak, brush, and understory of ponderosa forests, Seekins said. When it drops into drainages with aspen groves, it stops burning. The fire is not a threat to power lines to the west, officials said, and the fire is not expected to reach undeveloped private property to the east and south that are outside containment lines. The fire is expected to continue for 7 to 10 days depending on weather, he said. Live fuels are still holding moisture, which is resulting in slow fire spread in conditions that are not critically dry. Weather forecasts show an increased chance for rain in the next few days. There are no road or trail closures at this time. However, some sections of the Boggy Draw trail system might be temporarily closed if the fire comes too close. Roadside signs will be posted to alert the public to fire operations, risks, and closures. The public is asked to avoid the area. And now, let's take a look at the weather.
High pressure will remain directly overhead for the next few days. Even so, enough moisture will remain in the atmosphere to allow some showers and thunderstorms to form each afternoon and evening. Right now, today and Tuesday look to be fairly active over the higher terrain. Southwest flow will increase Wednesday as an approaching trough with upper-level support moves across Utah and Colorado and looks to bring widespread rain showers and thunderstorms on Thursday. Temperatures will also start dropping, with Thursday's high possibly dropping below seasonal values. The big weather news is, of course, Hurricane Irma traveling through Florida and headed into the southwest over the next 48 hours. The extent of the damages is just starting to become available. Major flooding and wind damage is universal across the area. Interestingly, ABC News reported the emergency rooms said that in past hurricanes, the most injuries were from chainsaws by people unfamiliar with the tool, trying to clear debris and getting themselves hurt after the storm has gone. All of that moisture will be moving up the eastern coast behind a high pressure that is moving northward. You can see that across the southern Rockies from the west coast is a band of continuing rain and thunderstorms, with a low pressure lingering off the coast as well. At least Texas is getting a break, working to get out from under their bout with Hurricane Harvey. And also lurking out in the Atlantic Ocean is Hurricane Jose, currently a Category 2 hurricane. It is churning hundreds of miles northeast of the Turks and Caicos. While some weakening may occur, Jose is expected to maintain hurricane status throughout the week. Locally here, for our 5-day, we're looking at a possibility of isolated thunderstorms and partly cloudy skies, with highs of 81, lows of 54. Tuesday looks to be pretty much a repeat of today, with high around 82 and low of 53, with the same chance of rains in the evening or overnight. That pattern continues again for Wednesday, with a daytime high of 82, and then Wednesday night chance of precipitation increases to 40% and a low of 52 degrees. That rain chance holds over into Thursday, while the high temperatures will only reach to about 76. But that storm system should eventually clear out by Friday, providing a sunny day, but with more average temperatures for this time of year extending through Saturday and Sunday as well, with highs in the upper 70s and lows in the upper 40s. Perhaps fall is coming after all. And now, back to the news.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, when Boutique Air raised its ticket prices in Cortez this summer, some customers accused the airline of unfair pricing. The reality is more complex. Boutique started serving the Cortez Municipal Airport in October 2016, offering non-refundable $59 flights and refundable $149 flights to Denver. In early August, those one-way prices increased significantly to $129 for a non-refundable trip and $249 for a refundable trip. When some Boutique tickets rose above $300 in mid-August, consumers responded. Boutique and the airport received negative feedback. Ticket sales dropped from a year-long high of 774 sales in June to 601 in August, a 22% decline that airport manager Russ Machin said was unusual for the busy summer season. Accusations of price gouging surfaced on Facebook, but so far the airline has not raised prices enough to justify that claim. Boutique's original contract proposal, submitted to the Cortez City Council and the U.S. Department of Transportation in 2016, promised four round-trip flights per day to Denver and Phoenix for an average price of $110. According to Boutique's marketing director, Michelle McNulty, the average price of all fares sold from October 2016 through August 20th was $105.96. However, she said company policy does not allow her to raise daily prices for the 10-month period. Caitlin Harvey of the Department of Transportation's Office of Public Affairs in Washington, D.C., said the department did not have the data on Cortez fares from 2017. Alan Kenitzer, a public affairs official at the Federal Aviation Administration's office in Washington, said the FAA doesn't track ticket price data. Boutique CEO Sean Simpson said his company increased prices for two reasons: to pay its bills and to try to increase Cortez air traffic. Behind the scenes, Boutique Air faces the same costly obstacles as many other small airlines that serve rural communities.
From a Durango Herald report, the two most popular guests at a party are probably a robot and alcohol. One fascinates people and the other can make people fascinating. Ryan Finnegan, a mechanical tinkerer from Durango, is also likely popular. After all, he is the genius behind a machine that combines music and cocktails, and it's named Benny the Booze Organ. With Benny, each note you play triggers a pour of alcohol. You have to approach the notes with care because a melody could leave you with a tasty drink or an unpalatable drink. The organ is one of the electronic art pieces Finnegan built with friends to be used as performance pieces for events in town, and also for Robo Exotica, a contest in Vienna. Finnegan has also built other contraptions that mix robots and music. His beer orchestra is made up of musicians sipping drinks and completing an electric circuit to produce their part of the song. At the 2017 Hello Dollface New Year concert, he draped performers in electroluminescence wire that plugged their tails into each other and played each other as musical instruments. Finnegan, age 40, is founder of his metal art company Carbon Form Design. He discovered the cocktail robotics when he came across a website for Robo Exotica. "I thought this is awesome. Two things I love, cocktails and robots," he said. Finnegan attended Robo Exotica twice and entered Catalic, a robot built with an IKEA table and coat rack and a frame for the official event poster that served up the first official shot of the contest to attendees. He is the only American to win two of the contest's three main awards. He won drink serving and the interactive and conversational awards. Recently, he worked as a subcontract for E7 Systems to help build a large self-pouring beer system that was installed in a restaurant in California. Finnegan plans to continue working with E7 Systems on professional cocktail serving robots and self-pouring drink systems. He expects novelty venues to be interested in the system first because they make sense in destinations where patrons are more interested in the experience and less about the practicality of replacing a bartender, he said.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, starting September 18th, justice in Montezuma County will be served up under one roof. The new Montezuma County Combined Courts facility at 865 North Park Street has 2 district courtrooms and 2 county courtrooms. It will also house the probation department, court clerk and the records offices, family court, legal library, jury areas, and inmate holding cells. Currently, District Court is held at 109 West Main Street, and County Court and Probation are at 601 North Mildred Road. Montezuma County is the last unconsolidated court location in the state. For the past year, both courts have been preparing for the move, said Court Administrator Eric Hogue. To accommodate the final push, all courts and probation offices will close from 3 p.m. Thursday, September 14th through Friday, September 15th. Regular court businesses will resume at the new courthouse on Monday, September 18th. The final inspections are complete. We are moving on and will be ready to serve the public, Hogue said. The public will notice the improved services, security, and technology of the $8.3 million facility. The 32,400 square foot Judicial Center has a southwestern feel with its Native American kiva design out front. The circular auditorium has a 65-person capacity and will be used for jury instruction and staff training. Other highlights include a modern self-help center where the public can view electronic court files or file pleadings, a larger staff area with improved security, more private family court offices, jury assembly rooms separate from the courtroom, secure waiting areas, electronic dockets, video conferencing, and attorney-client rooms.
From the Cortez Journal, the popular Colorado Grand Tour will again swing through southwest Colorado, allowing the public to marvel at vintage race cars at stops in Telluride, Dolores, and Ridgway on September 13th and 14th. Check out 95 classic models from car makers including Alfa Romeo, Porsche, Aston Martin, Bentley, Jaguar, Ferrari, and Bugatti at Mountain Village in Telluride on September 13th and in Dolores on September 14th between 10 a.m. and noon. The tour will then drive on to Ridgway for lunch on Main Street. The 29th annual fundraiser benefits local organizations and provides college scholarships, doling out checks to small towns along a 1,000-mile tour. Last year, the Colorado Grand raised $500,000 from entry fees and donations, said community liaison Eddie O'Brien. We donate to small towns on the western slope, everything from medical centers and amphitheaters to education and museums, he said. If the group stops for lunch, $10,000 is donated towards a community need, plus $8,000 for a college scholarship. If the stop is for coffee, $1,500 is donated to a local project or charity. For our participants, who we call Granders, it is an opportunity to bring out extraordinarily rare museum-quality automobiles and drive them through the beautiful Colorado mountains, O'Brien said. For the rural communities of the Western Slope, it is a chance to see classic race cars up close and to talk to owners. Many of the cars have a European racing pedigree. The nice thing about old cars is that people have been smiling and waving at us the whole way, said Bill Binney of New Hampshire during last year's stop in Dolores. He drove a 1938 BMW 328, which won Italy's Mile Miglia endurance race back in the day. Wayne Carini, host of the Discovery Channel's Chasing Classic Cars, was part of last year's tour, pulling up to the Galloping Goose Museum in his Aston Martin DB4. The performance attributes the value of the cars are equally impressive. A 1956 XKSS Jaguar, one of 16 in existence, including Steve McQueen's famous model, is worth $6 million. A very rare 1962 Aston Martin DB4 GT Zagato looked very fine parked in Dolores and is worth a staggering $15 million. The owner of a 1933 Alfa Romeo said it can easily hit 120 miles an hour with its supercharged straight-8 engine. The event is escorted by the Colorado State Patrol. A contingent of mechanics accompanies the group as well, each with a specialty in certain classic models. The drivers love the wide-open road, talking about cars and the friendliness of small towns they stop in along the way. O'Brien said, "Our drivers come from the U.S. and all over the world to participate." Last year, the group donated $1,500 to the Galloping Goose Historical Society. In the past, Granders have contributed $5,000 toward restoration efforts for the Galloping Goose No. 5 and $10,000 for a new roof on the museum.
And now for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of September 4th through the 10th. Deputies performed a welfare check in town and found that the people were not at their expected location. A local resident reported the theft of a homemade trailer and four-wheeler. The case is being investigated. A motorist reported large branches in the highway by the Dove Creek Bridge. Another motorist was already removing the branches upon the deputy's arrival. A local resident wanted to talk to a deputy about a protection order. The Utah Port of Entry requested assistance to turn around two cattle trucks who failed to check in at the port. An officer responded but was soon canceled as the vehicles turned back on their own accord. While on a traffic stop, an officer noticed a dog near the road. The officer recognized the animal and returned it to its owners in town. Cortez Dispatch relayed information of a possible accident near the intersection of Highway 491 and 141. An officer responded and was unable to locate the accident inside Dolores County limits. The officer continued a short distance into Utah and located the vehicle, which was overturned. The occupants appeared to not be injured. The officer remained to assist until personnel from San Juan County, Utah, arrived to take over the scene. An officer responded for an unattended death. That concludes today's roundup. Stay tuned for continued updates.
Today's High Canyon Country happenings. Local and Mesa Verde National Park astronomers will host the second annual Star Party at the Moorfield Campground Amphitheater on Saturday, September 16th from 8 to 10 p.m. Participants should arrive by 7:45 p.m. to park and set up seats, according to a news release from Julia Blumenthal. Participants will get a look at Saturn's rings and the Milky Way's glittering treasures under the pristine dark skies of Mesa Verde. Highlights will include constellation identification, multicultural sky stories, and telescope views of objects in the sky. Make sure to dress warmly, bring a camp chair and binoculars, and leave your dogs at home. Only red lights will be allowed after dark. Moorfield Campground is located 4 miles into the park. For more information, call 970-529-4627 or email julia_Blumenthal@nps.gov. And the Hisatsinem chapter of the Colorado Archaeological Society presents Michelle Hegman, Ph.D., for a discussion of the archaeology of the human experience on Tuesday, October 3rd at the Sunflower Theater in Cortez. Hegman will discuss the initiative Archaeology of the Human Experience, which strives to understand what life was like in the past that archaeologists study. She will explain the origins and goals of AHE and present examples of its research. The lecture is at 7 p.m. at the theater, 8 East Main Street, Cortez. For more information, call Schleller at 505-269-4475. All of the happenings are posted up on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with YouTube replays, weather and original stories, and local posts. To share your event or information, contact us. It's dcbnnews@gmail.com or call the station at 677-4119 and we'll be sure to get your news on air.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs live at noon Monday through Wednesday and then rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. and again re-aired Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in the same order at noon, 3, and 6.
Be sure to check us out on Facebook. It's DCTV News at Noon. Please like us there and share it with a friend.
For Kendra Cook and everyone at DCTV with the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.